Okay guys. So another accounting video again, another day. Another sakit ng ulo na naman po tayo today. So ngayon, let's talk about shareholders equity. So sa shareholders equity natin, balikan lang natin pinaka-basic concept. Pinagmulan natin, grade 11, grade 12, first year college. Alam naman natin, meron tayong tinatawag na accounting equation. And what does accounting equation says? Sabi daw, every asset daw na meron ka, is dapat daw, equal daw yan, dapat yung debit side natin and yung credit side natin equal. Yung debit side natin usually is asset. Sabi daw yung asset natin, dapat equal daw yan sa liabilities or equity. Or ibig sabihin, yung asset ng kumpanya mo daw, ang pinanggagalingan lang nun is possible na inutang mo yun sa ibang tao or possible na ikaw mismo na si owner ang nag-finance nun, yung equity natin. Na pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng transition, okay, kung babaguhin lang natin ng konti yung formula, which is the asset less your liability that equals your equity. Ngayon, si equity, pwede mong sabihin na after deducting all your liabilities to your total asset, this is the residual definition. Okay, therefore dito, pag-usapan natin shareholders equity. Ano ba meaning ng shareholders equity? Sabi daw, this is a residual interest in the assets of a corporation. We'll talk about corporation muna, okay? Kasi yung equity portion ng sole proprietorship and equity portion ng partnership is nasa AFAR. Sa partnership, nasa AFAR. Equity portion ng sole proprietorship, yun yung alam mo na nung grade 11 and grade 12 o sa basic accounting mo at first year. Ngayon dito, sa intermediate accounting to natin or sa financial accounting and reporting natin, let's talk about corporation first. Okay, corporation muna, residual interest, equity ng corporation. So ulitin natin, anong sabi? Shareholders equity is a residual interest in the assets of a corporation after deducting all its liabilities. Ibig sabihin, yun lang yung portion na sayo. Okay? Na ikaw si equity or si owner, yung sayo, yung portion mo dun sa asset ng corporation. Okay? Yung natitirang portion. After alisin yung mga portion na pagmamayari ng mga liabilities or ng mga utang or ng mga creditors natin. Okay? Assets after deducting your creditors portion, that is yours portion. Okay, yung portion mo, that is your residual interest. Okay, so what composes of shareholders equity ba? Okay, total shareholders equity natin, anong kasama niyan sa with regards to corporation? Meron tayong mnemonics na diyan, ito na. Tandaan mo na lang yung scores na tinatawag natin. Okay, S stands for your share capital. Okay, where share capital, si share capital natin, tatlo yung composition niyan. Meron tayong preference share capital, ordinary share capital, and subscribed share capital. Anong difference? Sa preference share capital, tandaan mo na lang, meron tayong priority over that. Okay? Yung shareholders, okay, yung may-ari ng mga shares na yan, ang tinatawag natin yan as shareholders, okay? For example, ikaw, meron kang pagmamay-ari or meron kang share sa isang corporation, ikaw tatawagin as shareholder. Okay. So ngayon yung mga shareholder na nagmamay-ari ng preference share, sabi daw meron silang priority. Priority over what? Meron silang priority, number one, priority nila kapag daw meron or nag-declare daw ng dividends. Okay, dividends. Ano yung dividends? Yun ngayon yung return mo. Kasi for example, merong shareholders. Si corporation kasi, nangyayari kasi dyan, yung composition ng mga equity ng shareholders, hindi lang yan nanggagaling sa iisang tao. Kaya nanggagaling yan sa maraming tao, which is usually more than 5, more than 10. Okay, walang limit dyan. Okay, medyo maraming tao yan. So, parang ang nangyayari, investment. May nag-invest sa'yo, pero hindi utang. Nakuha. Itong mga creditor mo, si liabilities. Bakit nag-i-invest yan or bakit ka pinapautang? Bakit pinapautang yung company mo? Kasi meron silang, gusto nilang magkaroon ng return, yung pera nila. Ano yung ROI nila dito? Or ano yung return on income nila? That is their interest income. Di ba meron silang interest income kasi nagpautang sila. Yun yung interest expense mo. Si equity, yung mga may-ari ng mga equity or ng mga shares natin, anong return nila dyan? Interest income din ba? No. Kaya walang interest dyan kasi walang maturity ang shareholders equity natin or ang capital natin. So ano yung nagiging income nila dito? Naging income nila is nanggagaling sa dividends. Meron tayong tinatawag ngayon na dividends. Okay, yung equity natin, yung share ng mga equity or mga shareholders, ang income nila dyan is in a form of dividends. Dito, in a form of interest. Nakuha. So balikan natin, preference share capital, merong priority daw yan. Priority over what? Number one, doon sa income ng company. Income of company, of corporation, in what way? Sa dividends. Ibig sabihin kapag nag-declare ng dividends si corporation, ang una daw na mabibigyan ng dividends, preference share daw. Sila daw ang may priority over that. That's their first priority. Pangalawang priority, if ever daw na mag-liquidate si corporation, pag sinabi natin liquidate si corporation, magsisis na yung operation. Okay, matatapos na yung operation. Nagbebenta na ng assets, okay, si corporation. In case of liquidation daw, sabi, yung total proceeds daw na marireceive doon sa liquidation process ng corporation, ang una daw na ibabalik na capital, sabi, ibalik mo daw muna yung mga preference shares. Okay, lahat ng matira ngayon, tsaka lang yun mapupunta sa mga ordinary shares. So, unang composition ng share capital natin, meron tayong tinatawag na preference share capital, which is meron silang priority. Priority over what? Dividends. Priority over number 2, liquidation process dun sa total assets. Nakuha. Next natin na share capital, ordinary share capital. Okay, itong preference share capital and ordinary share capital, tinatawag natin yan as issued capital. Yan na yung mga capital na na-issue. Ibig sabihin ng na-issue, yan yung mga capital na meron ng share certificate. Okay, meron kasing, pag meron ka kasing shares sa isang corporation, bumili ka ng preference share, bumili ka ng ordinary share, usually that evidences by a share capital. Parang sabihin na lang natin certificate lang din yun. Share certificate. Okay, parang certificate lang din yun na sinasabi na ito, si A, merong own sa amin yung 1,000 shares of ABC Corporation. Parang ganon. Okay? Parang certificate lang din siya. Kuha. So, sa preference share o sa ordinary share, dito naman, tandaan mo na lang, this is high risk. High risk yan. Bakit high risk? Kasi nga, lahat ng dividends, for example, ang dineclare na dividends, 100,000. Sino ang una mong bibigyan? Preference share. Lahat ng matitira, yun lang yung mapupunta kay ordinary share. So, nasa kanila yung risk, lahat. Kasi yung mapupunta lang sa kanila, lahat lang nung sobra. Pero alam naman natin, high risk, high reward. Ano yung high reward? For example, yung dividends na dineclare nila, 100,000 pesos, yung total na preference share na marireceive pala ng preference share is nasa 80,000. So, magkano yung matitira lang kay ordinary share? Magkano lang paghahatian ng ordinary share? 20,000. Nakuha. Kasi yun na yun. Si preference share, usually fixed dividends yan. Meron nakasulat sa certificate nila or sa agreement na fixed yung dividends na marireceive nila. Okay, 80,000, 50,000, fixed yan. Okay, fixed yan. So, sa dividends na dineclare, 100,000. 80,000 yung fixed dividends ng preference share. Magkano matitira sa ordinary share? 20,000. Yun. Kaya high risk, konti lang. O let's say for example, dividends na dineclare, 50,000 lang. Tapos yung preference share na dividends, dapat 80,000. O, kulang pa ngayon, 30,000. Ibig sabihin, walang marireceive si ordinary shares. Nakuha. High risk, high reward. Paano ang high reward? For example, dividends. Nag-declare ng 200,000. Fixed dividends, preference share, 80,000. Magkano matitira kay ordinary share? 120,000. Yun. Si preference share, yes, may priority. Bigyan mo muna sila, pero, lahat ng sobra, maghahati si ordinary share. Lahat ng sobra, kahit magkano pang yan, si ordinary share, kay ordinary share lahat, mapupunta yan. High risk. Walang priority, hindi sila unang binibigyan, pero mataas yung reward. High risk, high reward. Pangalawang advantage ng ordinary share na wala sa preference share, meron daw silang decision-making power. In case of management dispute ng corporation natin, okay, in case na kailangan mo ng management decisions, magbobotohan kayo ngayon. Okay, majority votes. Sinong pagbibigyan ng boto? Okay, or sino yung may karapatang bumoto? Sino yung karapatang makialam sa decision making ng corporation? Si ordinary share lang. Even though si preference share, pag may-ari daw niya yung ibang portion ng corporation, sabi daw, ay hindi. Okay, meron lang kayong right sa dividends and meron lang kayong right doon sa portion ng asset in case of liquidation sa portion ng asset na ininvest nyo sa amin. Pero with regards to decision-making purposes, manahimik muna kayo. So, yun ang sabi sa preference share. Binigyan namin kayo ng priority, pero wala kayong right to make or na makialam sa decision-making purposes ni corporation. Okay, yun yung preference share. Priority lang. Ordinary share, high risk, high reward. And in addition of that, nasa kanila yung decision-making power. Okay, sila yung nagde-decide. Sila yung may karapatang bumoto. Take note mo ha, balikan lang natin. Preference share and ordinary share is an issued share. Isang share capital pa natin. Meron tayong tinatawag na subscribed share capital. Ano yung subscribed share capital? Yung subscribed share capital na yan, parang sabihin na lang natin, nag-promise pa lang. Merong isang shareholder or merong isang tao na nag-invest, na nag-promise na mag-invest kay corporation. Nag-promise pa lang. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Nag-subscribe pa lang. Subscription pa lang. O, ito yung bibilihin ko. Bibili ako ng 100,000 peso share sa'yo. Bibilhin ko yan. Pinapangako ko yan. Pero, hindi pa bayad. Pwedeng hindi pa bayad and hindi pa fully collected. Ngayon, tandaan mo na lang. Si subscribed share is still an unissued share. Yung dalawa, issued share. Yung subscribed share, unissued. Okay? Kasi nga, subscription pa lang yan. Paano, sir, pag fully paid? O, pag fully paid na, meron tayong illustration dyan mamaya. Let's dig into deeper of that. Pero, just to give you a quick overview. Pag na-issued na yung subscribe share or fully collected na yung subscribe share, fully bayad na ng shareholders, ililipat mo ngayon yung subscribe shares natin into an either preference share or ordinary share. Depende kung ano yung binili ni shareholder. Nakuha. Subscribe shares ha. Ano ulit subscribe share? Subscribe share, binigay na. Binigay na kay shareholder pero hindi pa fully paid. Hindi pa fully collected. So, ibig sabihin, unissued pa. As a rule kasi, ibig sabihin, si subscribe share, promise pa lang yan, wala pang share certificate yan. Unlike kay preference and ordinary share, meron ng share certificate. Okay? Sabi kasi, sa corporation code natin, a corporation cannot issue a share certificate unless a subscribe share is fully paid or fully collected. Okay, so ibig sabihin, pag hindi pa fully collected yan, hindi pa yan magiging issued share. It will always be unissued hanggat hindi nako-kolekta lahat. That's the subscribed share. Okay, so tatlo ang share capital natin na preference share capital, ordinary share capital, subscribed share capital. Preference share capital may priority, ordinary share capital high risk high reward, nandiyan yung decision making purposes. Preference and ordinary share capital are issued shares. Subscribed shares, hindi pa fully paid. So, hindi pa yan issued, still unissued pa sila. Mayroon lang nag-promise na bibili ng ganitong share. Okay? Kapag ka-fully paid na yung subscribe share, ililipat mo lang yan, i-reclassify mo lang yan into preference share and ordinary share capital. Bigyan natin yan ng illustration later on. Nakuha. Ngayon, si share capital natin, okay? Sa paggawa ng corporation kasi, articles of incorporation natin. Pag gumagawa ng articles of incorporation si corporation, yung total shares natin, meron tayong tinatawag na authorized shares. Yung authorized shares, yan yung number of shares na pwedeng i-issue si corporation sa mga tao. Okay? Kailangan ipa-register or ipa-approve yan sa Securities and Exchange Commission. Ngayon, meron din doon sa articles of incorporation kung magkano yung minimum paid or minimum value ng share capital. Ano yung minimum value of share capital? Tinatawag natin yon as a par value. Okay, par value ang tawag doon. Ibig sabihin, yung par value natin is a peso fixed issuance price indicated in the articles of incorporation. Okay, yan yung minimum price. Okay, minimum price na pwede mong i-issue. For example, meron kang authorized shares of 1 million pesos and yung par value daw is 10 pesos. Ibig sabihin, yung kapag may bumili sa'yo ng 100,000 shares, dapat ibibenta mo yon at 5 pesos minimum. Hindi pwedeng bumaba sa 5 pesos. Pwedeng tumaas sa 5 pesos pero hindi pwedeng bumaba sa 5 pesos. Yun yung par value. Okay, merong instances na si corporation hindi nagsasabi ng par value sa articles of incorporation. Pero, sabi daw, in no case, dapat yung minimum price or yung price na ibabayad sa'yo or kokolektahin mo sa kanila is no case lower than 5 pesos. Hindi daw pwedeng bumaba ng 5 pesos. Yung par value, pwede yan 10 pesos, 20 pesos, 100 pesos. Basta ang rules natin, yung par value, minimum price yon. Kaya paano pag walang sinabing par value? Sabi daw, in no case dapat hindi bababa ng 5 pesos. Okay, pwede kang hindi magsabi ng par value. Pero, dapat, in no case be lower than 5 pesos. Yung tinatawag natin na stated value. Okay, par value kapag merong nakasulat sa articles of incorporation na minimum price. Kapag wala nakasulat doon, usually tinatawag siya as stated value. Ano yung stated value? Yan na yung value nung each share natin na pinag-uusapan mo na kapag nag-i-issue ka na. Okay, walang par. Okay, hindi nakasulat doon sa par, walang par value na nakasulat. Pero syempre, merong agreement. Sabi na, no par, hindi naka-register sa Articles of Incorporation. Nagbenta ka ng 100,000 share. O magkano mo binenta yung 100,000 share mo? Nakasulat doon, 10 pesos. O yung 10 pesos, stated value ang tawag doon. Okay, kapag no par, stated value ang tawag. Nakuha natin. So, ibig sabihin na, si share capital, mayroon tayong tinatawag na par value and stated value. Okay, stated value for no par value shares. Nakuha, take note mo na lang na dapat kapag ka-stated value tayo or no par value shares tayo, it should be issued in no case be lower than 5 pesos. And take note mo na lang, preference share is always issued with par. Itong preference share daw natin na to, sabi daw, always daw dapat kasi meron niyang nakasulat na par value sa Articles of Incorporation. Hindi pwedeng wala. Okay, preference share, tandaan mo importante yan mamaya. Preference shares is always issued with par value. Okay, with par value yan lagi. Nakasulat yan lagi dito sa Articles of Incorporation. Ibig sabihin, pag preference share, wala tayong tinatawag na stated value or hindi sila nag-i-issue ng no par value preference shares. So, yung ordinary shares lang natin applicable yung stated value or the no par value shares. So, yun yung kasama sa share capital. Preference share, ordinary, and subscribe share. Tandaan mo, meron tayong par value share, stated value, or no par value share. Pero preference shares, always with par value lagi yan. Par value natin, yun yung minimum issue price. Stated value natin, pag no par value, dapat in no case be lower than 5 pesos. So, yun yung kasama. Letter S natin. S stands for share capital. Next, C. C stands for contra equity accounts. Meron tayong mga tinatawag na contra equity accounts. Ano ibig sabihin ng contra equity accounts? These are deductions. Okay, deductions yan sa total equity natin and that composes of, apat yan, subscription receivable, discount on share capital, capital liquidated, and treasury shares. Ano yung subscription receivable? Tingnan mo, may arrow dito. Subscription receivable, parang parehas lang. O, si subscribe kasi, o yung subscription receivable kasi, o yung subscribe capital kasi natin, that's the equity portion. So, naka-credit yan, capital yan. And meron ka pang hindi mako-collected, di ba? Hindi pa collected yan. Ano yung nasa debit natin? Receivable. Subscription receivable ang tawag. Si subscription receivable, i-take note mo, sir, receivable, dapat asset yan. No, sabi nila. Tandaan mo no. This is not an asset. This is a contra equity account. This is an equity account pero deduction sa total equity mo. Tandaan mo equity portion si subscription receivable. Wala yan sa asset Wala yan sa asset. Nandito yan sa equity. Pero hindi yan addition but rather deduction. Nakuha. Okay. Next, discount on share capital. Tandaan mo na lang, pag yung discount on share capital, ang nagiging kwento dyan, let's say for example, ordinary shares. Yung ordinary share natin, yung par value na nakasulat sa Articles of Incorporation mo, 10 pesos. Tapos, in-issue mo daw ng 5 pesos. Discount yon. Ang tawag doon discount. Kasi 10 pesos yung minimum price, 5 pesos mo lang in-issue. Nagbigay ka daw ng discount. Take note mo na lang, yung discount na yan, yung ganong scenario, hindi daw pwede yun for original issuance. Kapag first time mong i-issue yung share na yon, okay, from unissued to issued share, first time mo siyang i-issue, sabi daw, hindi pwedeng ganon. Dapat ka kasi minimum price yung par value. So, hindi pwedeng bumaba doon. So, ano mangyayari pag mayroong ganyang instances? Sabi daw, si shareholders na bumili ng discounted price is still allowed. Okay? It is still requiring na bayaran daw yung kulang. Okay? So, parang void yung nagiging scenario na discount mo bibili nitong shares na to. Okay? Kasi sabi ni corporation, kailangan mo pa rin bayaran yan sa kanila. Okay? Hindi pwedeng merong discount under original issuance. Pag merong subsequent issuance na, for example, mamaya, meron tayong tinatawag na reacquired and reissued. Yung reissued, subsequent reissuance na yon. Yung subsequent reissuance, pwede na. Pwede nang mas mababa doon sa issue price. Pero under original issuance, hindi pwede. Okay? Disallowed. Okay? This is not allowed daw. Take note mo hindi pwede kasi meron nga minimum price par value. Hindi pwedeng bumaba sa par value yung issue price. Nakuha. Next, capital liquidated. Ano yung capital liquidated? In case na nagli-liquidate na si corporation, ibabalik mo na yung capital. Okay, yung mga portion daw na naibalik mo na capital, tawag daw doon is yung capital liquidated account. Yan yung return capital natin. So, deduction lang ulit yan sa equity accounts. Next, ito, treasury share. Yung treasury share natin, yan yung treasury shares na in-issue mo na, binigay mo na kay shareholders, pero sabi, ni-reacquire mo daw. Binili mo daw ulit sa kanila. Okay, pero hindi daw ni-retire. Treasury share. So deduction yan deduction yan. Contra equity account yan. Bigyan mo na lang, pagtuunan ng pansin natin na lang natin mamaya yung treasury shares sa handout sa susunod na or mamayang konti, pero tandaan mo na lang, treasury share is a contra equity accounts. Nakuha, this is a share that is already issued, na ibenta na sa ibang shareholders, pero binili mo daw ulit, reacquired daw, pero hindi na retire. Treasury shares ang tawag. Nakuha. O, pangatlo natin sa scores, that is your other components of equity. Yung other components of equity, it composes of apat yan, which is, meron na tayong mnemonics, Qter. Okay, Q stands for Cumulative Unrealized Fair Value Gains or Loss on FVOCI. Familiar? Yes, PFRS 9. Diba, meron tayong discussion yan. Investment, PFRS 9. Diba yung PFRS 9 natin, tatlo yung composition. Meron tayo ng investment at amortized, subsequently measured at amortized cost, subsequently measured at FVPL, subsequently measured at FVOCI. Yung tinutukoy doon sa FVOCI, diba meron ka nung pumapasok sa equity portion na sinasabi natin, yung other comprehensive income account, yung unrealized gain and unrealized loss nila, ito yung tinatawag dito. Okay, kasama yun sa other components of equity. Yung other components of equity, that is your other comprehensive income lang din. Okay, cumulative unrealized fair value gains or losses sa FVOCI. Meron tayong video discussion dito, punta ka na lang doon. Investment, PFRS 9. Next natin sa T. Yung T stands for Translation Difference of Foreign Operations. O ito, nasa AFAR na ito. O, kaya yung topic natin na Forex. Bibigyan din natin tayo, gagawa din tayo ng video discussion for that. Okay, Forex, Foreign Exchange, Advanced Financial Accounting and Reporting na. Huwag mo na masyadong dibdibin yan. Okay, ito, alam mo na to. Alam mo na yan. Ito, AFAR tayo dito. Okay, sa susunod yan. Huwag mo lang masyadong dibdibin yan. Basta memorize mo lang ano yung kasama sa other components of equity, Qter. Yung E stands for Effective Portion of Cash Flow Hedge. O, kasama din yan dito. AFAR lang din daw yan. AFAR din yan. Which is dito, nasa derivative portion naman ito. Derivatives, AFAR lang din yon. And next natin, ito. Last natin, revaluation surplus. Familiar, revaluation surplus? Dapat, okay, ito yung nasa PAS 16 natin. Ano yung PAS 16? Property, plant, and equipment. Diba sa property, plant, and equipment, dalawa yung subsequent measurement mo doon. Pwedeng cost model, pwedeng revaluation model. Pag revaluation model tayo, yun na yung meron tayong nag-i-incur na revaluation surplus. Yung revaluation surplus, pumapasok sa equity portion, kasama yun sa other components of equity. Okay. Like number 4, yung R natin and E dito, RE, stands for retained earnings. Ano yung retained earnings? Tandaan mo na lang, yung retained earnings natin, ang pumapasok sa retained earnings natin is lahat ng income mo, lahat ng loss mo, cumulatively sa buong taon o sa buong buhay ng corporation mo. Okay, dito pumapasok lahat ng income, lahat ng profit, lahat ng loss, pumapasok saan? Sa retained earnings natin. Na yung retained earnings natin, it composes of appropriated retained earnings and unappropriated retained earnings. Anong difference? Kapag pag silent ang problem, retained earnings lang, ang assumption natin unappropriated. Pag sinabing unappropriated, unrestricted. Pag sinabing unrestricted, hindi mo alam kung saan mo gagamitin. Kaya basta meron dyan. Okay, merong retained earnings dyan, merong pera dyan, pero hindi ko pa alam kung saan ko gagamitin. Ano yung appropriated? Yung appropriated, yun na yung restricted. Kaya restricted na yan for a specific purpose. Okay, meron nang nakalaan dyan. O itong portion ng retained earnings ko, nakalaan na yan dito sa property, plant, and equipment. Restricted na yun. Appropriated ang tawag doon. So yun yung kasama sa retained earnings. And number 5 natin, ito, meron tayong tinatawag na share premium. Or tinatawag natin na additional paid in capital. Okay, take note mo ito. Merong arrow dito. Okay, merong arrow dyan papunta dito sa share premium. Bakit? Kasi tandaan mo, si share capital, okay, naka-par value yan. Yung par value portion ng share capital pumapasok, or yung par value portion ng issue price, pumapasok yun sa account na share capital. Tandaan mo yung par value or yung stated value, pumapasok yun sa account na share capital. Merong instances na nag-issue ka ng price na more than dun sa par value. For example, par value na nag-issue ka ng 1,000 shares. Ang par value, 50 pesos. Pero in-issue mo siya ng 70 pesos. Yung 50 pesos na portion papasok sa share capital. may excess, di ba? 20 pesos. Yung 20 pesos saan daw papasok? Sa share premium. In short, kaya nga tinatawag siya as additional paid-in capital. Yun yung additional na binayad sa'yo sa pagbili ng capital. Share premium ang tawag dyan. Dati, APIC ang tawag. Ngayon, mas updated, share premium na ang tawag. Okay? Sabi dyan, APIC is an excess of consideration received over par value or stated value. Yung sobra na na-receive natin dyan. Nakuha. O ngayon, si share premium natin, marami yan. Okay, maraming composition yan, pero ito yung most commonly composition na makikita mo. Meron tayong preference share premium, ordinary share premium, treasury share premium, retirement share premium. Okay, marami yan. Okay? So, preference ordinary, treasury, parehas ba yun? Hindi. Okay? Preference at par value. Ordinary at par value. Ang tawag doon, share capital. Preference excess, ordinary excess, ang tawag doon, share premium. Preference share premium, ordinary share premium. Nakuha. Okay, so yan yung mga compositions ng shareholders equity natin. So ngayon, let's dig into deeper. Okay, let's dig into deeper na dito sa portion natin na to, itong nakahati na to. Okay, dito. Si corporation, maraming stages yan. Okay, ito yung most common stages na makikita natin. Siyempre, at the beginning of its operation. At the moment na nag-organize, at the date of conception ng corporation natin, nung inorganize, nung pinaregister yan sa Securities and Exchange Commission. From that date, magkakaroon ng tinatawag na authorization. Okay, authorization dito, ito na yung inauthorize na ni Securities and Exchange Commission na, okay, sige, pwede ka nang mag-operate. Ino-authorize na kita na mag-operate ngayon. Authorization yon. Pangalawa, syempre, maghahanap na ng capital yan si corporation. Unang pwede niyang paghanapan ng capital niyan, syempre, subscription muna. Okay, meron munang mga tao na magpa-promise sa kanila na, sige, bibili kami, mag-i-invest kami. Okay, and syempre, hindi pa yan fully bayad. Hindi pa yan fully bayad. So, subscription pa lang yan. Magkakaroon tayo ngayon ng tinatawag na issuance. Yan na yung bayad na lahat. Okay, ini-issue mo na yung shares. Nagbibigay ka na ng share certificate. Okay, and merong instances na yung in-issue mo na dito, yung in-issue mo na share, pwede mo siyang bilhin daw ulit. Yan, reacquisition or acquisition. And yung binili mo ulit, sabi, pwede mo daw ulit ibenta yan kasi hindi naman yan na-retire, which is tinatawag as reissuance or pwede din i-retire mo na. And then, for example, for a period of 1 year, magkakaroon ng operation. Papasok ngayon yung income and loss na pumapasok saan? Sa retained earnings. And possible magkaroon ng distribution of dividends. Okay, and possible na malugi. Sana naman wag. Okay, possible na malugi yung corporation. Pag nalugi ang corporation, unang step niyan, wag ka muna mag-liquidate. Unang step niyan, mag-recapitalize muna tayo. Recapitalization or quasi-reorganization. Meron tayong separate video discussion that. And with that, and after that, liquidate tayo. Okay, liquidation. Yung liquidation ng corporation, hindi natin ituturo dito sa Financial Accounting and Reporting. Meron din tayong separate discussion dyan sa Advanced Financial Accounting and Reporting, which is yung tinatawag natin na topic na corporate liquidation. Hanggang dito lang muna tayo sa recapitalization or quasi-reorganization. Pero for this video discussion, hahatiin kasi natin to in 2 parts or in 3 parts. For this video discussion, dito lang muna tayo. Sa authorization, sa subscription, sa issuance, and sa acquisition. Okay, sa acquisition. Hanggang dito sa reissuance. Retirement, operations, and recapitalization or quasi-reorganization, next video discussion. Nakuha. Okay. Sige, so authorization tayo. Ito na. Ano nangyari sa authorization? Sabi natin, magpaparegister si corporation sa Securities and Exchange Commission, sinasubmit niya yung Articles of Incorporation, isasubmit niya yung bylaw. Okay, yung legal matters with regards to corporation, nasa RFBT na subject na yun, ha. Okay, sa corporation code, hindi na natin pagtutuunan ng pansin yun dito. Dito mag-focus tayo sa accounting, okay, ng corporation. Okay, so authorization. Sa authorization natin, dalawa daw yung method na ginagamit. Meron tayong tinatawag na memorandum method and meron tayong tinatawag na journal entry method. Memorandum method, yan, nagme-memo ka lang dyan. Okay, memo entry lang. Dinidescribe mo lang, sinasabi mo lang na this corporation, ABC Corporation, has an authorized share of 1 million pesos with the par value of 50 pesos. Ganon lang. Okay, memorandum method lang yon. Meron din tayong tinatawag na journal entry method. Sa journal entry method, ang ginagawa natin dyan, nagde-debit ka daw ng unissued share capital. Ito na, inauthorize na. Let's say for example, inauthorize ka nila na magkaroon ng 500,000 peso shares. Okay, sabi, debit ka daw ng unissued share capital. Hindi pa na-issue eh. Okay, hindi pa na-issue yun eh. And credit daw tayo ng authorized share capital, 500,000. O, question, magkano yung total shareholders natin with regards to this? Zero pa. Bakit? Authorized share capital, credit account. Unissued share capital, debit account. 500 minus 500, zero. Okay? Authorized share capital, yan yung portion na inauthorized. Magkano na daw yung issued? Wala pa. Bakit? Kasi yung buong 500,000, unissued daw. Yun yung journal entry method. Pero take note na lang natin na ang most commonly method na ginagamit is ito. Memorandum method. Therefore, pero dapat mas better lang na alam mo na meron journal entry method. Pero yung most commonly nga na ginagamit in practice is memorandum method. So yun yung gagamitin natin throughout this video discussion din. Memorandum method. Nakuha. Ito lang naman yung difference nila. Subsequently, parehas naman na yan. Parehas na itong mga to. Okay, ito lang yung pinagkaiba nila. At the date of authorization. Pag at the date of authorization, meron kang entry sa journal entry method. At the date of authorization, wala kang entry sa memorandum method. Nakuha. Okay. Tapos na tayo sa authorization. O next natin, subscription. Yan o, araw o. Subscription. Okay, sa subscription and sa issuance kasi medyo related. So pagkasamahin natin yan. So let's say for example, i-assume natin, out of 500,000 peso authorized share, 50% was subscribed. 50% was subscribed at 300,000 pesos. Okay, nag-issue ka daw ng 50% nung authorized share natin. Magkano mo daw in-issue? 300,000. 300,000 daw na kolekta mo. Ano magiging entry natin? O, di ba sinabi natin, 500,000 pesos. Ibig sabihin, ito yung at par. Naka-par value yan. So, ano magiging entry natin? Kasi i-assume natin, subscribe pa lang. Pag subscribe, punta nga dito. Nasaan yung subscribe share capital? Ito, subscribe share capital. Sabi daw, entry ka. Debit ka ng subscription receivable kasi sinubscribe pa lang yan, hindi pa makokolekta, debit yan, subscription receivable. Contra equity account, magkano yung marireceive mo? 300,000. Credit ka ng subscribed share capital. Magkano yung subscribed share capital natin? Nasa share capital, ano dapat? Dapat naka par value. Magkano ba par value? 50% daw ng alin? 500,000. 500,000 times 50%, 250,000. Uy, may sobra. 300,000 over 250,000. Saan nilalagay ang sobra? Yes, sa share premium. So, tawagin natin siya as share premium of 50,000. Nakuha. O, nakita mo na yung sinasabi ko, ha? Yung total na marireceive mo, nakadebit. Okay, receivable daw. Credit natin, share capital. Ano yung share capital natin? Dapat up to the amount of par value lang. Magkano ba yung par value? 500,000 shares daw. 50% ang nasubscribe. Yung par value, 250,000. May sobra. 300,000 ko in-issue. 250,000 yung binigay ko. May sobrang 50,000. Nasaan yung sobra? APIC. Additional paid-in capital. Excess of consideration. Received over par value or stated value. Nakuha. O, si shareholders, ito po paalala ko lang shareholders equity, maraming nahihirapan. Medyo complicated. Bakit? Bakit complicated? Kasi yung entries natin dito, bago sa'yo. Ang alam mo lang kasi na entries, debit cash, credit AR. Debit income or debit expense, credit cash. Debit expense, credit accounts payable. Debit cash, debit accounts receivable, credit income, credit sales. Yun yung most commonly entries na nai-encounter natin. Kaya madali na sa'yo yung entries na yon. Okay, pero dito kasi medyo maraming account. Medyo maraming bagong account sa'yo. So medyo mahihirapan ka. Pero, take note mo entries is the most basic foundation sa shareholders equity. Shareholders equity, yes, medyo komplikado. Okay? Pero, pag nahihirapan ka na, I suggest, okay, and I highly encourage, familiarize yourself with the journal entries. Kasi yan, journal entries na yan yung magpapadali ng buhay mo. Yes, maproseso. Yes, mahaba yung process. Pero yan yung magpapadali ng buhay mo kapag litong-lito ka na sa nangyayari sa shareholders equity. Kasi mamaya, makikita mo mamaya, mayroon tayong maraming illustrations. Okay, illustrations na sobrang haba ng problem, di mo naiintindihan. Tatanong sa'yo, magkano total shareholders equity? Magkano total share capital? Magkano total share premium? Entries yung magiging basehan natin. Kaya yan yung magiging guide natin, journal entries. So, I suggest, and ituturo ko din sa inyo, okay, yung pag-journalize. Okay, kasi importante talaga yan. Okay? So, that's one scenario, subscribe. Nag-subscribe ng 50%. 50% was subscribed, 300,000. Share capital yung nasa share capital, or at par value yung nasa subscribe share capital, excess, nasa share premium. Okay. Okay, continuing that illustration, scenario number 1, sabihin na natin, 50% was collected. Nung nakolekta mo yan, anong entry mo? O, nakakolekta ka. So, debit ka ng cash. O, magkano? 50% daw, magkano? 150. Okay? 150,000, kalahati ng 300,000. Debit cash, credit ka ng subscription receivable. 150,000. Yun lang. Nakakolekta ka ng 50%, yun lang entry mo. O, scenario number 2, let's say for example, dito sa scenario number 1, sabi daw, fully paid na daw. Nabayaran daw yung remaining balance. O, magkano pa ba yung remaining balance? Di ba 150 pa? O, debit ka lang ulit ng cash. Ibig sabihin, nakolekta mo yung natitira, 150,000. Credit ka ng subscription receivable. Alisin mo yung subscription receivable dyan, 150,000. O, magkano na lang subscription receivable mo as of this date? 0 na. Okay, wala ka ng subscription receivable. Take note mo, a subscription receivable is a contra equity account, hindi yan asset account. Okay, and in addition of that, mag-e-entry ka nito. Okay, entryhan mo daw yan. Anong entry natin dyan? Alisin mo na yung subscribed capital. Alisin mo na yan. I-debit mo na yan. Tapos credit ka ng ordinary or preferred share capital. Kung ano man yung binili niya na 250,000. Alisin mo yan dito. Bakit alisin? Ano yung sinabi ko dito? Subscribed share capital is an issued share. Kapag fully paid na lahat, fully collected na lahat, i-reclassify mo yan, di ba? Ililipat mo yan saan? Sa preference and ordinary share capital. O, sana naiintindihan mo na yung concept na tinuturo ko kanina. Ito yung kwento doon. Ganito yung kwento. Bakit mo siya aalisin, i-reclassify? Kasi nga aalisin mo yan from subscribed capital, from promised capital, into an issued capital. Fully paid na eh. Bayad na lahat eh. Nakolekta mo na lahat. O, hindi na yan simple promise. Okay? Na-comply na niya yung obligation niya. So, ibigay mo din yung rights niya. Ano yung rights niya? Yung share capital. Ano yung rights niya? Yung share certificate. Dito, from this moment, nag-issue ka na. Yan, nag-issue na kapag fully paid. Eh sir, bakit ganun? Bakit sa scenario number 1, nabayaran naman yung 50%, nakolekta naman yung 50%, bakit hindi ako nag-debit subscribe capital and credit ordinary preference share capital ng 150,000? Kasi nga sabi natin, mag-i-issue ka lang once fully collected. Eh hindi pa fully collected o hindi mo pa i-issue yan. Antayin mong mabayaran lahat. Pag nabayaran lahat, tsaka ka lang mag-i-issue ng ganito. Nakuha. Kuha. Oh, sige. Oh, let's say for example, continuing this illustration. Dito lang, dito. Ang nangyari, hindi na-kolekta yung 50%. Kaya hindi na-kolekta 50%. Ang na-kolekta daw, sabi, no partial payment. Na-kolekta daw lahat. 100% na-kolekta daw lahat. Ano mangyayari dyan? Debit ka ng cash, credit ka ng subscription receivable, magkano? 300,000. In addition of this, anong entry mo? Eto din. Entry ka ulit nito. Alisin mo yan sa subscribe capital, credit ka ng ordinary share or preference share capital of 250,000. Bakit? Kasi nga, fully paid na. Nabayaran na lahat, nakolekta na yung 300,000 pesos. Nakuha yon. Okay? Dito, 50% was collected. Dito, fully or 100% is collected. Nakuha. Sana naintindihan na. Nandun na tayo sa authorization, okay na. Subscription, okay na yan. Issuance, kalahati, okay na. Tuloy natin yung issuance natin dito ngayon. Okay, tuloy natin yung issuance dito ha. Okay, nasa authorization, subscription, issuance tayo kalahati. Meron tayong tinatawag na direct issuance. Yung kaninang issuance na tinutukoy natin, nag-subscribe, nag-promise, tapos fully paid. Nung fully paid na, fully collected na, okay, nag-issue ka na ng share certificate. Merong instances na hindi dumediretso sa promise. O sige, kailangan gusto kong mag-invest dyan. O ito, nabayad na ako, diretso na. Okay, prompt payment na yan. Wala nang promise. O, ang nangyayari dyan, nagkakaroon tayo ng direct issuance. O, pag direct issuance, let's say for example, i-assume natin, nakakolekta ka ulit, 500, nakolekta mo din yung 2, or sinubscribe yung 2, or in-issue mo yung 250,000 at 300,000 pesos. Ano mangyayari? Debit ka ng cash or pwedeng non-cash asset. Pwede naman kasing non-cash asset yung i-invest. Okay, let's say for example, same lang kanina. Yung cash mo makukolekta mo, 300,000. Direct issuance yan, wala nang subscription dyan. Credit ka ng ordinary share capital, magkano? Yung par value, 250,000. Tapos credit ka ng share premium, yung excess nasa 50,000. Ganun lang. Diba? Dali lang, diba? Pag naintindihan mo yung kwento, madali sa'yo yung entry dapat. So ngayon, kailangan mong i-appreciate yung nagiging kwento. Okay, imagination lang ulit tayo. Kuha. Ngayon, merong instances na kapag nag-i-issue ka ng share, possible magkaroon ka ng incurrence of issuance cost. Ano yung mga issuance cost? Okay, yan yung mga additional cost na binabayad mo ni corporation. Additional cost na binabayad ni corporation para lang matapos or mag-complete yung issuance of certificate. Ano yung mga examples niyan? Meron tayong mga regulatory fees. Okay, mga law fees. Okay, legal fees. Kailangan mo ng attorney. Accounting fees, bookkeeper, professional fees, o commission expenses, underwriting, printing costs. Siyempre, hindi naman libre ang pag-print o merong printing cost and yung mga taxes natin, documentary stamp tax. O these are examples of issuance cost. Okay? Yung mga expenses natin na to, ito mga out-of-pocket cost na yan, kapag daw na-incur mo yan, okay, dahil sa nag-issue ka ng share, sabi daw, this cost must be deducted to resulting share premium from issuance. If insufficient, pag kulang daw, charge to retained earnings. Anong ibig sabihin? Medyo nalito ka. Oh, for example, meron kang total issuance cost of, let's say for example, 70,000. 70,000 of issuance cost. Ano daw gagawin mo dyan? Credit ka daw ng cash kasi nagbayad ka ng cash. Magkano yung nabayaran mong cash? 70,000. Saan mo daw i-debit yan? Sabi daw, ibawas mo daw sa share premium. Okay, share premium from issuance. Okay, hindi yung buong share premium mo ha. Yung share premium lang daw na na-incur mo nung nag-issue ka. Magkano ba yung share premium mo nung nag-issue ka? 50,000. So, debit ka dito ng share premium. SP po, share premium ha. Debit ka ng share premium of 50,000. Ay sir, kulang pa. O kulang pa ako sa debit. Saan mo daw i-debit? Yung isa, pag kulang daw yung share premium, pasok mo daw sa retained earnings of 20,000. Nakuha. Ano ibig ko sabihin dito? Pag meron kang issuance cost po, yes, parang sasabihin mo regulatory fees, legal, professional commission, underwriter, those are expense. Pero sabi, they are not treated as expense. Okay, wag mo daw silang i-treat as expense. I-treat mo daw sila as deduction sa share premium or deduction na daw sa retained earnings. Kasi supposed to be, kapag ka meron ka nakitang ganyan, commission expense, ano magiging entry mo dati? Nung di mo pa pinag-aaralan si shareholders equity. Ang normal na entry natin dyan, debit ka ng commission expense, credit ka ng cash, 70,000. Pero kapag daw yung expenses daw natin na ito is nagamit mo daw, bakit? Kasi nag-issue ka ng share. Sabi daw, instead daw na debit expense, credit ka daw ng share premium. Or debit ka daw ng share premium. Pag kulang yung share premium, debit ka ng retained earnings. Nakuha. Okay. So ngayon, sabi, merong instances na yung marireceive mo daw dito is less than share capital. Anong tawag dyan? Pagka yung consideration na na-receive mo is kulang dun sa total share capital natin. Discount on share capital. Ito yun, no? Discount on share capital. Okay na tayo. Na-encounter mo na to ngayon. Dito tayo ngayon sa discount on share capital. O sabi daw, pag discount on share capital, nire-recognize mo daw muna siya as discount liabilities. Sabi daw, these are deemed illegal. Hindi daw pwede yan. For original issuance lang ha. Sa original issuance lang. Take note mo ha. Ilang beses ko nang inulit yan ha. Hindi lang pwede yan sa original issuance. Okay? So therefore, the shareholder concerned is still liable. Kailangan pa rin daw magbayad ni shareholder doon sa kulang na portion. Nakuha. So yan yung discount on share capital. Okay na tayo. Issuance. Yun lang naman kailangan mo mapag-aralan sa issuance. Next natin dito na. Acquisition. Nag-issue ka ng share, tapos bigla gusto mong bilhin yung shares. Ano ba yung possible na reason bakit gusto mong bilhin ulit yung share? For example, pag binili mo yung share kasi na yan, hindi na entitled dyan sa dividends. Kasi ikaw may hawak ng shares Kung ikaw may hawak, si corporation na ulit ang may hawak ng shares, hindi na ibang tao, therefore, hindi ka magbibigay ng dividends nakatipid ka. Okay, pero syempre sa acquisition kasi, ang nangyayari kay acquisition, binibili mo ulit yung share. So nagbabayad ka dito. Okay, nagbabayad ka, pwedeng cash, pwedeng non-cash assets. So ngayon, tandaan mo na lang. With regards to reacquisition, pumapasok ngayon dyan yung account natin na treasury share. Yan contra equity accounts. Nandito na tayo treasury shares. Okay, ngayon sa treasury shares natin, sabi, take note mo na lang, treasury share is at cost model. Cost model ang accounting natin sa treasury share. Na yung cost model natin, sabi, acquisition and reissuance of treasury share are recorded at cost. Okay, ano ibig sabihin nun? Let's say for example, bumili ka ng share, 10,000. O binili mo ulit yung share. Ni-reacquire mo ulit yung share. 10,000 shares at 10 pesos. Magkano yun? 10,000 at 10 pesos. That is 100,000. Sabi daw dito, i-entryhan mo daw yung treasury shares na yun at cost. Kung magkano mo binili. Magkano mo siya binili? 10 pesos. So that is 100,000. Kay debit ka daw ng treasury share, 100,000. Sir, debit ba treasury share? Yes. Kasi nga, nasa contra equity account. Ano ba normal balance ng equity natin? Di ba credit? Kapag contra equity account, deduction. So nasaan yan? Nasa debit. Kaya subscription receivable, nasa debit. Discount on share capital, nasa debit. Treasury share, nasa debit din. Nakuha. So ibig sabihin yung i-debit mo daw na treasury share at cost. Kung magkano mo siya binili. Bigyan natin illustration. Let's say for example, Corporation reacquired 1,000 shares at 90 pesos. O, ito yung cost mo. Ito yung binayad mo, 90 pesos. Anong entry mo? Siyempre, nagbayad ka. Magkano binayad mo? Cash, 90,000. Kay debit ka ng treasury share at cost lang, 90,000. Nakuha? Ganun lang kasimple. Debit ka lang treasury share, credit ka lang ng cash of 90,000. At cost lang nga eh. Yung cost lang na ibinayad mo. Okay. Ngayon, in addition, kailangan mo lang daw mag-appropriate ng retained earnings. O, nandito tayo sa appropriation. Okay, sabi daw, kapag daw nag-re-reacquire ka daw ng share, or nagkakaroon daw tayo ng treasury share, sabi, mag-debit ka daw muna ng retained earnings unappropriated. Alisin mo daw yung unappropriated retained earnings. I-reclassify mo lang daw siya sa retained earnings appropriated. So, simple reclassification lang to. Para lang daw ma-identify natin na yung this is in accordance with Section 40 of the Corporation Code. Para lang daw ma-identify natin na yung portion ng retained earnings natin ni corporation is naka-specifically para sa treasury shares. Okay, so mag-appropriate ka lang. So, yun lang naman. Okay, hindi naman importante masyado to. Tandaan mo na lang na merong reclassification. Wala namang effect yan sa shareholders' equity natin. Okay, reclass lang. From unappropriated to appropriated retained earnings. Nakuha. Yun na yung acquisition natin. Next. Next, possible magkaroon tayo ng reissuance. Okay, yung reissuance natin, ito yung subsequent issuance na. Take note mo ha. Original issuance, ito yung subsequent issuance na tinatawag. Binili mo ulit yung share. Tapos, ibinenta mo ulit yung share. Bakit mo ibibenta ulit yung share? Ibinili mo nga. Possible kasi kulang na yung capital mo. Kulang na yung working capital mo. Kailangan mo na ng pera para mag-circulate or gumawa or magkaroon ng additional operations or additional working money yung business mo. Sabi, i-issue mo ulit. Okay, subsequent issuance ang tawag doon. So, let's say for example, take to po na lang. Sa subsequent issuance, meron tayong steps. Step number 1, i-recognize mo muna yung treasury share. Nag-debit ka ng treasury share sa acquisition. Alisin mo daw yan. I-recognize mo. Number 2, recognize mo yung consideration received. Magkano yung nakolekta mo? Possible na hindi equal yung consideration na pinagbentahan mo doon sa nirecognize mo na or dinirecognize mo na treasury share. Sabi daw, yung excess daw niyan, i-recognize mo daw sa share premium. Kapag daw sobra. Kapag daw kulang, sabi, debit mo daw sa share premium treasury share. Kung meron mang share premium treasury share na balance. Kapag kulang ito, okay, kapag kulang yung share premium treasury share, i-debit mo daw sa retained earnings. Nakuha. And in addition of that, sabi, i-reverse mo daw yung appropriation sa retained earnings. Nag-appropriate ka, di ba? O ibinenta mo na ulit yung treasury shares mo. O i-reverse mo lang ulit. Baliktarin mo lang ulit ito. Nakuha. Okay. Illustration. Let's say for example, ni-reissue yung 1,000 shares at 90 pesos. Binili mo dito ng 90. Ni-reissue mo din at 90. Anong entry mo? Nakakolekta ka ng cash. Debit ka ng cash, 90,000. Credit ka ng treasury share, 90,000. I-recognize mo yung treasury share, credit treasury share, 90,000. Recognize mo yung consideration na na-receive mo, magkano na-receive mo? Cash, 90,000. Tapos, i-reverse mo yung appropriation ng retained earnings, debit ka ng retained earnings appropriated, credit ka ng retained earnings unappropriated. Ni-reverse mo lang ito. Binalik mo lang ulit sa dati. Okay, yun lang. Wala namang sobra, wala namang kulang, tapos na yun. Okay na tayo. Let's say for example, nag-reissue at 140. Binenta mo daw at 140 pesos. Anong entry mo? I-recognize mo muna yung treasury share. Credit ka ng treasury share at cost. 'Di ba? Reissuance at cost. I-recognize mo yan at cost. Magkano cost? 90 pesos. Alisin mo lang yung treasury share mo dito. 90,000. Credit treasury share at 90,000. Tapos recognize ka ng consideration na na-receive mo. Magkano? Debit cash, 140. Sobra. Pag sobra, saan pumapasok ulit? Surplus, share premium. Treasury share of 50,000 pesos. Nakuha. Next, last natin. Reissued at 60 pesos. Share premium treasury share have a balance of 10,000. Ano magiging entry mo? I-recognize mo lang ulit, treasury share. Magkano? 90,000. Okay, take note mo nag-appropriate tayo dito inappropriate. Say, meron tong entry entry mo lang din ulit yan dito. I-appropriate mo lang ulit yung 90,000 pa rin 90,000 pa rin kasi 90,000 lang naman yung inappropriate mo. Nakuha? Hindi ko na lang sinulat yan. Okay? Next, nag-reissue 60 pesos, share premium treasury share, may balance na 10,000. Anong entry natin dyan? Debit credit ka ng treasury share. I-reverse mo yan, 90,000. Debit ka ng cash, magkano yung consideration na na-receive mo? 60,000. Kulang. Saan mo pasok yung kulang ulit? Pag deficit sa share premium treasury share. Masabi may balance daw, 10,000. Debit ka ng share premium treasury share. Kulang pa rin. Saan papasok? Pag kulang pa rin to, sa retained earnings. Debit ka ng retained earnings of 20,000. Kuha. And in addition of that, i-reverse mo lang ulit yung retained earnings. Reverse lang tayo ulit dito ng retained earnings. Nakuha. Okay. I-apply natin sa multiple choice questions. Sige. I-apply natin yan. Illustration number 1. Sabi, what total amount should be reported as shareholders' equity? Ano ba? Tandaan mo na lang yung shareholders' equity natin ha. Meron tayong scores dyan. Okay, tapos ito, retained earnings. Kuha, share capital, contra equity accounts, other components of equity, retained earnings, share premium. Kuha. Share capital natin, these are issued shares. Okay, sabi dyan, Marac Company provided the following data at year end. Merong authorized share capital. Unissued share capital. So, ibig sabihin, meron kang issued, kung meron kang authorized share capital na 500,000, yung unissued mo is 2 million pesos or 5 million pesos, yung unissued mo is 2 million pesos, meron kang issued share of 3 million pesos. Na yung 3 million pesos, pwedeng nanggaling yan sa preference share or pwedeng nanggaling yan sa ordinary share. Okay, we never know. Pero hindi naman relevant sa atin kung preference or ordinary kasi ang tinatanong lang sa'yo, total shareholders equity. So ito na yon, kasama yan, 3 million pesos. Tapos meron daw subscribed share capital. Kasama ba yan sa shareholders equity natin? Yes, nandito yan sa share capital, di ba? Subscribed share capital. Subscription receivable, kasama ba? Yes, contra equity. Lagyan mo na lang, deduction. Share premium, yes, S, additional paid in capital. Retained earnings unappropriated, yes. Retained earnings appropriated, wala kang pake, yes pa rin yan. Okay, addition pa rin yan. Revaluation surplus, yes, other components of equity. Treasury shares at cost, yes, pero deduction yan dito sa C natin or sa contra equity accounts. O kung i-add natin lahat yan, that is 3 million pesos. 3 million pesos plus 1 million less 400 plus 500 plus 600 plus 300 plus 200 less 100, that is equal to 5,100,000. Letter A for illustration number 1. Diba? Madali lang ito. Madali lang pag naintindihan mo yung concept natin. Illustration number 2, lagpasan muna natin. Okay, next video discussion yan. Stay tuned. Antayin mo na lang sa next video discussion, part 2 natin. Illustration number 3, next video din yan. Okay, balikan natin yan next video. Illustration number 4, next video din yan. So, let's move on sa illustration number 5. So, sa illustration number 5, sabi dyan, what amount should be reported as share capital? And what amount should be reported as share premium? Meron pa ba? Yun yung choices. Okay. Sabi, at the beginning of the current year, Ashi Company was organized with authorized share capital of 100,000 shares. Authorized, 100,000 of 200 peso par value. I-assume natin naka-memo entry na tayo dito. Hindi na tayo mag-journal entry method. Okay, sabi, January 10. Tandaan mo, 200 pesos par value. January 10, nag-issue ka ng 25,000 shares at 220 pesos a share. Entryhan muna natin ha. Entryhan natin. January 10, entries muna. Medyo maproseso pero tandaan mo muna yung entries para masanay tayo sa entries. Okay. Issue January 10. Magkano in-issue mo daw? 220 pesos a share. So, 25,000. 220 times 25,000, that is equal to 5,500,000. So, ano na-receive mo dyan? I-assume natin cash. Debit ka ng cash, 5,500,000. Ano i-credit natin dyan? Diba credit tayo ng, ano daw yung in-issue mo daw dyan? Hindi naman sinabi kung ordinary or preference share capital. Ito pala, pag hindi sinabi kung yung in-issue is ordinary or preference, ang assumption natin is ordinary. Okay, ordinary yan. Ordinary share capital. Bakit? Kasi a corporation cannot issue or a corporation cannot have a preference share without ordinary share capital. Ano ibig ko sabihin doon? Ibig sabihin si corporation, hindi pwedeng puro preference share lang yan. Kasi isipin mo na lang, kung puro preference share yan, sino gagawa ng decision? Wala. Okay, so dapat lagi merong ordinary share. So pag hindi sinabi, so pwedeng walang preference share, pero hindi pwedeng walang ordinary share. So ito dapat ordinary share capital yan. Okay? So credit tayo ng credit tayo ng ordinary share capital. Magkano? Always sa at par lang. Magkano par? 200 pesos. Ilang shares? 25,000. 200 times 25,000, that is 5 million pesos. Ay kulang. Kulang tayo saan? Papasok mo pa saan yung kulang? Sa ordinary share premium. Sobre. 'Di ba? Sobra tayo dito ng cash na na-receive. So merong kulang sa credit, nasa ordinary share premium. Magkano yung kulang? Magkano yung sobra? Nasa 500,000. So yan yung entry natin for January 10. March 25. Anong entry natin sa March 25? Issued 1,000 shares for legal services when the fair value was 240 pesos a share. Possible ba yun? Yes, possible yan. Okay? Nag-incur ka ng legal services. Okay? Let's say for example, nag-hire ka ng professional for legal services. Tapos instead daw na cash ang ipambayad mo, ang pinambayad mo na lang daw, binigyan mo na lang daw sila ng share. Okay? Anong entry mo dyan? Debit ka ng legal expense. Okay, meron kang legal expense dyan. Magkano yung legal expense mo? 240 pesos daw yung fair value. At 1,000 shares times 1,000, that is 240,000. Anong credit natin? Nag-issue ka ng ordinary share capital. Take note mo at par value lang. Par value, 200 times 1,000, that is 200,000. Meron na namang excess. Saan yung excess? Ordinary share premium of 40,000. So yan for March 25. Last natin for September 30. September 30, ano nangyari? Issued 5,000 shares for a tract of land. Kapalit daw ng lupa. Imbis na nagbayad ka ng cash, pinambayad mo daw, shares na lang daw. Na ang fair value is 260 pesos a share. So, debit tayo ng land. Yung na-receive mo na land. Magkano mo yung na-receive mo na land? 260,000 daw, or 260 pesos daw, times 5,000 shares, that is 1,300,000. Credit tayo ng ordinary share capital. Magkano yung ordinary share capital natin? 200 times 5,000, that is 1 million pesos. Merong excess. Saan yung excess? Ordinary share premium of 300,000. Anong tanong? Magkano daw share capital? O gawan mo na lang ng T-account. Share capital, dito, share premium. Nasaan yung mga share capital mo? O ito, transaction 1 sa January 10. Meron kang share capital of 5 million. Meron kang ordinary share premium of 500,000. Dito, meron kang ordinary share capital of 200,000, share premium of 40,000. And then meron kang 1 million pesos dito na share capital, and meron tayong ordinary share premium dito na 300,000. I-total lang natin lahat yan. Share capital natin, 5 million plus 200 plus 1 million, this is equal to 6,200,000. Share premium natin, 500 plus 40 plus 300, this is equal to 840,000. Magkano daw yung share capital natin? 6,200,000, letter B for number 1. And number 2 natin, share premium, magkano daw? 840,000, letter A for number 2. Diba? Madali lang. Illustration number 5. Next natin, illustration number 6. Next video pala, illustration number 6. Illustration number 7. Sabi sa illustration number 7 natin. Okay. So, medyo mahaba. Ito na yung sinasabi ko. Pag medyo mahaba, pag hindi mo na maintindihan yan. So, entry lang ang basehan natin. Illustration number 7, ang tanong lang, what amount of total shareholders equity for 2019 and for total shareholders equity on 2020? So, yun lang yung tinatanong sa'yo dito. Try natin sagutan. Try natin sagutan ng walang entries. Tingnan natin kung maiintindihan mo walang entries. Tupiin ko lang. Sige. Illustration number 7. Sabi, on January 1, 2019, Pen Company began operations by issuing at 15 pesos per share, 1/2 of the 950,000 ordinary shares. So, nag-issue ka na, 15 pesos per share. Okay, 1/2 lang daw yung in-issue mo ng 950,000 ordinary share. Ang par value daw ng 950,000 ordinary share is 1 pesos. Okay, that has been authorized for issue. In addition, the entity had 500,000 authorized preference share of 5 pesos par. Okay, 500,000 authorized preference share, 5 pesos par. During 2019, the entity had 1,025,000 or 1,025,000 of net income and declared 230,000 of dividend. During 2020, the entity had the following transactions. Issued 100,000 ordinary share for 17 pesos per share. Issued 150,000 preference share for 8 pesos per share. Authorized the purchase of custom-made machine to be delivered on January 29, 2021. The entity restricted 300,000 of retained earnings for the purchase of machine. Or 2021 na lang to siguro. The entity restricted 300,000 of RE for the purchase of machine. Issued additional 50,000 shares for 9 pesos. Issued a preference share yan, reported 1,215,000 of net income and declared dividend of 635,000 to shareholders as of record of January 15, 2021 to be paid on February 1, 2021. Sige, gawin natin. Lagyan natin dito. Tinatanong sa'yo, shareholders equity ng 2019 and 2020. Ano ba yung mga shareholders equity nandito? Meron tayong ordinary share capital. Meron tayong ordinary share premium, possible. Tapos meron daw preference share capital, preference share premium. Diba? Possible din. Tapos ano pa ba? Meron dyan ditong nagsabi sila ng net income. So possible magkaroon tayo ng retained earnings. Nakuha. Okay, isa-isahin natin ngayon yan. Sabi, January 1, nag-issue daw ng 15 pesos per share, 1/2 of 950,000. Magkano yung 1/2 ng 950,000? 950,000 divided by 2, 475,000. Magkano par value? 1 pesos. Times 1, 475,000. Magkano papasok sa ordinary share capital natin? 475,000. In-issue mo daw ng 15 pesos. So, 15 less 1, 14 yung papasok saan? Ordinary share premium. Magkano in-issue mo na share? 475,000. So, yung nasa ordinary share premium natin, 6,650,000. Sana naiintindihan na. Mamaya, sagutan natin ng mayroong entries. Okay, sa ngayon dito, shortcut. Okay, sabihin na, pwede na, para lang makita mo, ma-imagine mo na hindi ganoon kahaba yung process. Okay, madali lang pag naiintindihan mo na talaga yung entry. Sana lang umabot ka sa ganitong point, okay? Pero alam ko, aabot ka sa ganitong point. Okay, sa ngayon, medyo komplikado lang or medyo maproseso lang para lang ma-appreciate mo lahat. Okay, next na naging entry, sabi, 500,000 authorized preference share of 5 pesos o wala, authorized lang. Okay, hindi pa yan issued. Authorized pa lang yan. During 2019, the entity had 1,025,000 of net income. Saan pumapasok ang net income? Nasa retained earnings. 1,025,000. And declared 230,000 of dividend. Ito, next video discussion natin ang dividends. Pero since pumasok dito, sige, sabihin na lang natin, yung dividends kasi natin na yan, ang nagiging entry mo sa dividends is debit retained earnings and credit tayo ng dividends payable. Magkano daw? Nasa 230,000. So, liability ito. Debit retained earnings. So, meron kang deduction dito na 230,000. Deduction yan. Nakuha yon. Next, issued 100,000 ordinary share at 17 pesos. 100,000 ordinary share, yung 1 peso yung share capital. So, papasok dito, 100,000. Yung excess natin na 16, 17 less 1, 16, times 100,000, 16 times 100,000, that is equal to 1,600,000. Papasok yun saan? Sa share premium ng ordinary. Next, okay na to. Next, issued 150,000 preference share for 8 pesos per share. So, preference share, magkano par value ng preference share natin? 5 pesos. So, 5 pesos times ilang share? 150,000. Yan yung papasok sa par value. 750,000. So, nandito sa share capital, 750,000. Yung excess natin na 3 pesos, 8 pesos less 5, 3 pesos times 150,000. Saan papasok yan? Sa share premium. 450,000. Next, okay na to. Next natin, authorized the purchase of custom-made machine to be delivered on January 2021. The entity restricted 300,000 o no effect yan sa entry sa shareholders equity natin. Kasi ang entry lang natin dito, debit retained earnings unappropriated, credit ka ng retained earnings appropriated. Magkano? Nasa 300,000. Kung take note mo lang yan, meron ka lang ditong retained earnings na 300,000 and meron tayong retained earnings na 300,000. Deduction lang. So parang no effect lang din yan. Kaya alisin na lang natin eto. Okay? So, okay na yan. Next, issued additional 50,000 preference share at 9 pesos per share. O magkano yung par value ulit? 5. So, 50,000 times 5, yung 250,000 papasok sa share capital. Tapos, yung excess natin na 4 pesos, 4 times 50,000, that is equal to 200,000. Saan yan papasok? Sa share premium. Kuha. Next, reported 1,215,000 net income. O net income, nasa retained earnings yan, 1,215,000. Nag-declare daw ng dividend, 635,000. Deduction yan dito, 635,000. O, okay na. Wala nang naging transaction. So, computin lang natin lahat. Okay? 475,000 plus 100,000, that is equal to 575,000. Ordinary share premium natin, 6,650,000 plus 1.6. This is 8,250,000. Preference share capital natin, 750,000 plus 250. This is equal to 1 million. Preference share premium, that is 450 plus 200. This is equal to 650,000. Retained earnings natin, 1,025,000 less 230 plus 1,215 less 635. This is equal to 1,375,000. Magkano yung total shareholders equity natin? 575 plus 8,250 plus 1 million plus 650 plus 1,375. That is equal to 11,850,000 for 2020. 2020 shareholders equity natin, magkano? 11,850,000, letter A for number 2. Tinatanong sa'yo 2019. Ano ba yung mga naging transaction mo sa 2019? Di ba ito lang? Itong share capital natin na to and itong share premium natin na to. Tapos ano pa ba? Yung retained earnings natin dito and yung retained earnings natin dito. So yung mga nakabilog lang, 475,000 plus 6,650 plus 1,025,000 less 230. This is equal to 1 million. Okay, so mali ako na napindot. 475 plus 6,650 plus 1,025,000 less 230, that is equal to 7,920,000. Number 1, letter A. Itong mga nakabilog lang ha. Itong mga nakabilog lang. O, entryhan natin. Baka hindi mo naintindihan. O, sige, entryhan natin. Illustration number 7. Ang sabi dyan. Okay, gawa ko ng extra paper. Ito. Sige, illustration number 7. Ang sabi dyan. January 1 began operations by issuing 15 pesos per share. So, ano nangyari dyan? January 1, 2019, ang naging entry natin dito is debit ka ng cash, nakakolekta ka. Magkano yung nakolekta mo na cash? That is 15 pesos. 15 pesos times 475,000. This is equal to 7,125,000. Anong credit natin? Credit tayo ng ordinary share capital. Credit tayo ng ordinary share premium. Kano yung share capital natin? 1 peso yung par value. That is 475,000. Yung excess natin, iles mo lang dito, 475,000. That is equal to 6,650,000. Kaya nakuha ito. Mayroong share capital na 475 and mayroong share premium na 6,650,000. O, diba? Maproseso. Mas madali. Pero mahirap intindihin pag hindi ka sanay dito. Okay, so pag nalilito ka dyan, balik ka lang dito. Okay, next natin, authorized share capital, wala naman na. Authorized na preference share, wala. Tapos net income, o pag nag-net income tayo, ano ba nagiging entry natin sa net income natin? Debit tayo ng income summary, credit tayo ng retained earnings of 1,025,000. Okay, ganyan yung entry mo pag merong net income, kino-close mo yan sa retained earnings. Kaya meron kang credit retained earnings of 1,025,000. Tapos nag-declare ka ng dividends, 'di ba? Debit ka ng retained earnings, credit ka ng dividend payable of 230,000. Okay, kaya nagkaroon ka ng debit retained earnings, deduction yan dito, 230,000. Tapos dito, nag-issue ka daw ng 100,000 ordinary share. Okay, anong entry mo dyan? Debit ka ng cash at 17 pesos. 17 times 100,000, that is equal to 1,700,000. Credit ka ng ordinary share capital, yung piso niyan, magkano yung piso? 100,000. Excess natin, ordinary share premium, magkano yung excess? 1,600,000. Kaya nagkaroon ka ng 100,000 dito and 1.6 dito. Diba? Dito na tayo sa isang bullet point. Nandito na yung lahat ng mga nasa 2020. Kuha. Tapos issued 150,000 preference share. Ano naging entry mo dyan? Debit ka ng cash, 150,000 preference share. Tapos at par value, or yung at 8 pesos times 8, debit ka ng cash of 1,200,000. Credit ka ng preference share capital. Magkano yung par value natin? 5 pesos, di ba? O 150,000 times 5, that is equal to 750,000. Excess natin dyan sa 1.2, that is equal to 450,000 na papasok saan? Preference share premium. Kaya dito nagkaroon ka ng 750,000 and 450,000 sa share capital and sa share premium. Dahil yan sa entry natin na to. Next natin na entry, authorized purchase machine, alam mo na yan, nag-appropriate ka lang dyan. So, hindi relevant sa atin yan. Next, issued additional preference share for 90 pesos o same entry lang dito. Debit ka ng cash, credit ka ng preference share capital, credit ka ng preference share premium. Magkano yung total na na-receive mo na cash? At 9 pesos. 50,000 shares at 9 pesos, that is equal to 450,000. Ano yung i-credit mo ulit sa share capital? Yung par value lang, which is yung 5 pesos. So, 50,000 times 5, that is equal to 250,000. Excess natin, nasa 200,000. Kaya ka nagkaroon ng entry na ganito. 250,000 and 200,000 dito. 250,000 sa share capital, 200,000 sa share premium. Nakuha. Last natin, reported net income. Ano yung entry natin sa net income natin ulit? Debit ka lang ng income summary. Credit tayo ng retained earnings. Magkano yung net income natin? 1,215,000. Tapos nag-declare ka daw ng dividends. Magkano? 635,000. Debit ka lang ng retained earnings. Credit tayo ng dividend payable of 635,000. Kaya ka nagkaroon dito. Okay, dito ng debit additional 1,215 and debit tayo ng 635. Nakuha. Tanongin natin, magkano daw yung total shareholders equity ng 2019? Magkano ba? Ito, tapos ito. So that is 475 plus 6,650 plus 1,025, that is 8,150,000. 50,000. Tapos, meron kang debit retained earnings, deduction yan, less tayo ng 230,000, that is 7,920,000. Nakuha. Okay, o, tapos yun na yung number 2. Okay? Okay tayo doon. O, let's move on. Illustration number 8. O, sabi sa illustration number 8, sabi lang dyan, what is credited for the excess of reissue price over the cost of treasury shares? Okay, ano daw ba yung nag-credit dyan? Sabi, illustration number 8, the company held 10,000 shares at 10 peso par value treasury. Reacquired for 120, treasury to. Reacquired for 120, na-reacquired for 120,000 at cost yan. Anong entry mo dyan? Debit ka ng treasury share. Credit ka ng cash kasi nagbayad ka. Magkano? At cost, 120,000. Sabi, at year-end, the entity reissued all 10,000. Ni-reissue mo daw for 190,000. O, pag nag-reissue ka, ano nagiging entry mo? Diba? De-recognize muna. Treasury. Magkano i-de-recognize mo? 120,000. Kasi nga, inalis mo lahat. Binenta mo lahat. Tapos, recognize ka ng consideration receive. Ano yung consideration na na-receive mo? Debit ka ng cash. 190,000. May sobra na 70,000. Saan papasok yung surplus? Nasa share, premium, treasury share. So, meron kang debit share premium, 70,000 letter D for illustration number 8. Diba? Dali lang. O, illustration number 9. Sabi sa illustration number 9, at beginning of the current year, Ronak Company issued 50,000 shares at 10 pesos par value for 100 pesos per share. O, nag-issue daw. O, sige, entryhan mo ngayon yung issue natin na yan. O, nung nag-issue ka, debit ka ng cash, credit ka ng ordinary ba, sinabi? Wala naman. Sige, so credit tayo ng share capital of 10 pesos par value and share premium of 90 pesos. So, 50,000 shares, 10 peso par, debit cash, 50,000 shares at 100 pesos, debit cash of 5 million pesos. Share capital natin, 50,000 times 10 pesos, that is 500,000. Excess natin, share premium lahat, 4,500,000. Okay, during the year, the entity reacquired 2,000 shares at 150 pesos per share and immediately canceled those 2,000 shares. Okay, cancel daw. Okay, cancel. Itong kinancel pala, nasa retirement na ito. Okay, so take note na lang natin na nasa next video to. Okay, leave blank muna natin. Next video tayo dito. Para hindi ka malito kasi hindi ko pa naituturo yung concept natin sa retirement of shares. Okay, sa retirement na kasi yan. Next video yan ha, tandaan mo. Stay tuned, next video. Okay, last natin, illustration for this video discussion, illustration number 10. Sabi sa illustration number 10, at the beginning, okay, hindi ko pala nabago ito. Tama ba? Sige, sorry, mali itong na-print ko na handout. Okay, mali ito. Ito pala, yung totoo. Illustration number 10. Sabi sa illustration number 10. At the beginning of the current year, Hana Company reported the following shareholders' equity. Meron 2,250 na share capital, share premium 1.5, retained earnings na 2 million. During the current year, the entity had the following transaction. Acquired 10,000 treasury shares for 50 pesos per share. Okay, nag-acquired ka daw ng 10,000 treasury shares for 50 pesos per share or 500 pesos. So, entryhan mo lang. Debit ka ng treasury share, credit tayo ng credit tayo ng cash of 500,000. I-take note mo po, meron tayong appropriation appropriation of retained earnings pero hindi ko na ini-entryhan. Kaya yan, treasury share and credit tayo ng cash of 500,000 at cost. Sold 5,000 treasury shares at 60 pesos. Okay, sold. Ibig sabihin, na-reissue mo ulit. So, anong gagawin mo ulit? De-recognize ka ng treasury share. Pero hindi buong 10,000 ha. So, huwag yung 500,000. 5,000 shares lang. So, 5,000 shares at cost. Magkano ba yung cost? 50 pesos, di ba? 5,000 times 50 pesos, that is equal to 250,000. So, credit ka ng 250,000 of treasury share. Magkano mo daw binili? O magkano mo daw binenta? 60 pesos. 60 times 5,000, that is equal to 300,000. Oy, merong surplus. Pag merong surplus, saan naka-credit ulit? Nasa share premium or nasa treasury share. Treasury share, share premium. Share premium ng treasury share, magkano? Nasa 50,000 pesos. Tapos sabi, nagbenta ka daw ulit ng 2,000 treasury share o de-recognize treasury share ulit. De-recognize treasury share, magkano yan? 2,000 lang 2,000 at 50 pesos, that is, nasa 100,000. So, credit treasury share of 100,000. Debit ka ng cash, magkano yung nakolekta mo? 45 pesos per share daw. 45 pesos times 2,000, that is 90,000. Okay, kulang ngayon. Pag kulang tayo, saan mo pinapasok ulit muna? Number 1, treasury share premium. Meron bang balance yung share premium ng treasury share natin? Yes. 50,000. So, debit ka muna ng treasury share premium of 10,000 pesos. Oha. Tapos, net income for the year is 2.5. Entry natin ulit sa net income natin is debit ka lang ng income summary. Credit tayo ng retained earnings of 2 million pesos. Nakuha. O ngayon, lagdagan na natin. Ilagay mo na lang dito. Share capital. Meron bang nadagdag sa share capital natin? Wala. Share premium, meron bang nadagdag? Yes, meron tayong nadagdag na. So, plus tayo dito ng 50,000 and nabawasan niya ng 10,000. So, less tayo ng 10,000. Ito, less 10,000 plus 50,000. Tapos, nagkaroon tayo ng retained earnings additional. So, plus tayo dito ng 2 million or 2.5 million pesos. 2.5 pala ito. So, 2.5 million. Tapos, ano pa? Meron tayong treasury share, additional account, treasury share. Magkano treasury share natin? 500,000. Take to kontra yan kontra equity. Tapos, nag-credit ka ng 250,000, so deduction yan. Nag-credit ka ng 100,000, so deduction din yan. So, meron kang total treasury share of 500 less 250 less 100. This is equal to 150,000, which is a contra equity account. Okay, total na natin. Share capital mo, magkano share capital natin? 2,250,000. Share premium mo, magkano? 1.5. 1.5 plus 50 less 10, that is equal to 1,540,000. Retained earnings natin, magkano? 2 million plus 2.5, that is 4,500,000. And treasury share natin, magkano? Nasa 150,000 deduction. So, total mo lang, 2,250 plus 1,540 plus 4.5 less 150, this is equal to 8,140,000. This is your total shareholders' equity. Anong tinatanong sa atin? What amount should be reported as total amount of share premium? Magkano share premium daw natin? 1,540,000, letter C. What amount is share capital? Nasa letter A, 2,250,000. Magkano daw yung total shareholders' equity natin? 8,140,000, letter A for number 3. Okay? Therefore, that concludes our video discussion for the part 1 of shareholders' equity. Meron pa tayong part 2 and part 3. Pakiantay na lang po muna. Yun lang. Good luck, God bless, and ciao!